They just jumped in head first, and then before I knew it, we were engaged, and we had been on like one date. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, let him court you. I would have like told her like,
but sometimes it happens.
Hey cuties, it's your girl Tana Too Cute. Listen, I wanted to jump in here with a real quick cute chat, y'all. So this weekend, or this past weekend, we know that it was Essence, y'all, and we had some of our girls from Divorce Sistas and Sistas Zatima. They were a part of a panel, y'all, and there is some circulations of, you know, some maybe possible beef or just not a good look from Letoya Luckett. Y'all take a look at this clip and then we'll come back and talk about it, okay?
I was to give Fatima advice from the very beginning. I would have told her to take things slower with Zach. I feel like they just jumped in head first, and then before I knew it, we were engaged, and we had been on like one date. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, let him court you. I would have like told her like,
but
girl,
sometimes it happens.
I get it though. I get it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, she had a thing for Zach too, I think. Me too. I mean, 4 babies later, she had a real thing for Zach.
Sometimes it happens.
4 babies.
They just celebrated 15 years.
Amazing.
Can we please
Give it up for Black love.
Okay.
Black love and Black excellence right there on this panel.
Okay, so y'all saw that. So there are a couple of things that, you know, the internet, you know how the internet does. They kind of take things a little bit out of context, but perception is reality, I guess. But anywho, so there were a couple of things that kind of stood out here. Number one, I did notice how Letoya Luckett was looking at Crystal Fatima while she was sharing, what advice she would give Fatima. We're talking about the characters, but I did notice how Letoya was looking at her. But sometimes, people just not aware of, their facial expressions in that moment. So I wouldn't necessarily say that Letoya Luckett was looking at her in some type of way as if, she was over her or had some sort of issue with Crystal. I just think in this moment, she just wasn't aware of her facial. And then two, the other thing that kind of stood out and that the internet was talking about was that, was it necessary for Letoya to comment about, DeVal and Kadeen's real marriage, their anniversary? In the moment we were talking about the characters of Fatima and what advice she would give her from Crystal's perspective, and Letoya's comment did not necessarily align, in my opinion, with that segment where she started talking about, how long they've been married, with Kadeen and DeVal, how long they've been married. It seems as though she kind of was a little dismissive to what, Crystal was talking about. So maybe the perception, in these internet streets could have been that, hey, she, was trying to be dismissive. That it does appear that way, but I think it may be more of was she actively listening in that moment. It could have been that. I wasn't really sure, what Kadeen's comment was when she chimed in. I think there's sometimes, when we are in front of a panel or an audience, sometimes, the volume of our voices kind of silence because we are in front of, an audience, and we just want to make sure that we are filling the space, and sometimes we might just get off track, but all in all, I just don't think, there's any issue or any negativity in, their relationships. I just don't think, in my opinion, that there's an issue here. Sometimes we just not aware of our facials, and sometimes when we in front of an audience, sometimes we just don't hit the mark on the head. Okay, y'all let me know what you think about, this clip down in the comments. Y'all like the video, hit subscribe, and look, y'all have a good day on purpose. Bye.